Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing well, and we are back with the episode 2 of the Startup Talks with Harshita, and today we have Pakhi Garg with us. She is an advisor at World Cybersecurity Forum and a consultant. Hi Pakhi, how are you doing?
Hi Harshita, I'm extremely good. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to come and talk on this amazing platform.
Great. Thank you so much, Pakhi. And this is a series that we have started where we are interacting with a lot of startup owners and entrepreneurs who are much more experienced than us, all of us, and they can share their experiences and there are things with us, and we would also get to know about more amazing products out there. And plus, we will get to know about what's there in minds of an entrepreneur. So that is the only agenda I've started this series. So today's session would be a different one, I guess. It would be based upon, firstly, we will be talking about your experience as an entrepreneur, as a startup owner, with managing your firstly the studies and then your job, and secondly we would cover a more good and important topic of cyber awareness that we have, because as you work closely in this field, so that would be a good topic to talk about, and we would get the knowledge about. So let's start with your introduction. You can introduce yourself to the audience and then we can get started.
Hi everyone, my name is Pakhi Garg, as Harshita already introduced me, and I'm the advisor to World Cybersecurity Forum. So basically we are a techno-legal consultancy that provides cyber awareness to the people who are across the globe who are not aware of their rights or responsibilities while handling the internet thing. Apart from that, I work for Gartner as an in-house counsel. So this is just a brief introduction, and further we'll be discussing more about them.
Definitely. Okay, great. So, Pakhi, before putting deep emphasis on the cyber awareness and what World Cyber Security Forum is, I would love to know how you got an idea of starting this, and what was the initial things that you had in mind that I have to start something like this, and what was your main agenda behind starting this? Because I think you can go forward with something in the long run when you have strong conviction to it that this has to be there, this has to be done. So what was there for you?
So in 2015, I enrolled myself for the PG diploma that's provided in cyber laws from Indian Law Institute, New Delhi itself. So that's basically a degree where they'll teach you all about the cyber laws. During that time, it was very new in the nature. So then in 2016, when I took the admission in the LLB, so at that time, I come across with one of a very good friend of mine, that's Megha. She is one of the pioneer of World Cyber Security Forum. So somewhere around when we studied together, she was also she was putting more emphasis on cyber laws and cyber security. So somewhere around 2017, she discussed the idea. So majorly it was her idea that come up to the mind that let's just start something that is being curated, especially for the netizens to check on their rights, because those days we were reading a lot and we were researching a lot about the various kind of crimes and frauds that are happening online. So we talked about it, but in 2017 we weren't that kind of serious about this plan to take it ahead. Then again 2018, between 2018 and 2019, she again emphasized and called me and said, "Nahi yaar, let's start this plan and let's initiate this call." So yes, finally in September 2018 it started along with one other person, that's Akash. So currently we are 3 people who are handling all the work of World Cyber Security Forum since 2018. So this was the idea, like to come up with something to bridge the gap between the cyber security and the cyber laws, because they both are, you can say that they both are missing each other. Like you cannot just talk about the cyber security and ignore cyber laws, or vice versa.
Right.
So it's like that. This come ups in this way. Then we started our journey. Then we created our website. We started doing various kinds of events, workshop, boot camps with various colleges as well as individual. We come up with some international symposium as well, where we had invited distinguished professors and various other eminent personalities across the globe to come up on our platform and talk about the cyber sphere and on even various topics. Like we have covered teenagers as well, crimes against women as well, techno-legal consultancies as well. So that's what we do. Apart from that, we do provide our techno-legal consultancy, as I have already mentioned, and we do provide the solutions to the corporate in the region of cybersecurity. So this is a very brief idea of what we are doing currently.
Right. That's great. Pakhi. So you actually started with as an initiative, so that you can firstly you can give it the give your services to the corporate companies for handling their breaches, and secondly to the normal people who common man who may have been into may have been a victim of a cyber crime, and she or he wants a consultancy ki how should they go forward. Yes. And on this part I want your emphasis that whenever this happens to anyone, they get firstly they don't want to share it with anyone unless it's very mandatory. If it happens to anyone who is educated or who is who takes his or her own expenses, he or she don't mind sharing it with anyone, because when it happens they think it would be something wrong with me or I've done this, so log kya kahenge and everything, and they don't seek for help for that. So in that at that place, I guess your role comes into play, where you provide the free consultancy to them. So can you give that emphasis that how the process goes on, and if a person wants to seek the help, how they can go forward?
So Harshita, we have come up with a plan that we have developed our website. That's www.worldcybersecurities.com. So the aggrieved person can definitely visit us. There he can find us. That there's a field name as techno-legal consultancy. So that is the field that a person needs to select. And there we have attached a Google form. So that Google form will ask you for the basic details like name, occupation, contact number, or how the person wants us to connect back to him or her, what is the problem, or what is the crime or the fraud, whatever scam that person has faced. Please give us a brief. And then our team will connect back to them accordingly in whatever way they had selected. Like if they want us to connect through WhatsApp, we'll drop them a WhatsApp message. If they want us to address their issue via mail, we'll mail them. So this is how we do talk to them on the regular basis, or whosoever fills the form, and try to sort their issues. So this is the prime method. Apart from that, many consultancies we have done is through our mails itself. So on our official mails, like our official mail is info@worldcybersecurities.com. You can definitely find it on the website itself. So many people do share us directly everything on the website. Maybe they are not exactly aware, or they couldn't navigate through the website where they need to fill that form. So we definitely take care of those consultancy as well, and we'll get back to them in whatever things we are facing, because there are a number of things that doesn't work, or people are unable to understand what exactly they need to share. So we just guide them that these are some of the details that we need to get, because we also need to get a grasp of what exactly their problem is, along with the proofs. Because proofs are important while you are creating a FIR, while you are creating a complaint, because that is again a next step from our end, that we are going to create a complaint for them. And then we are just asking them to file this complaint, or let's file it online. So for that, you need a proper documentation of each and everything, where you have elaborately described the crime or the fraud that has happened to that person, along with the proof. So this is how we work. So we create it, then we share it with the concerned team or the concerned department, and then we will take this ahead by keeping in constant touch with the law enforcement agencies. So this is all what we do in techno-legal consultancy.
Right. Got it. So, and you provide it free to the common people, so that they can get the access to.
Yes. Apart from that, there are certain cases where people are actually mentally damaged. If I talk specifically about the women, then you must have definitely seen, and all the audience have definitely seen, that there's a lot of people who actually stalk women on various kind of social medias, on Facebook or Instagram, or they are commenting very rudely, they are commenting very obscene about their pictures, about on their messages, whatever it might be. So they are mentally tarnished. Actually, it is creating they're deteriorating their mental health. We are unaware about that. So we have also come up with the idea that we are providing them the free counseling as well for now. So for women, it's free counseling. For teenagers, we are providing the free counseling. So we have the counselors as well in our team. Experts are there in the team who help them out in order to just leave all this, and it's fine, because there are negative people as well outside the world, and they will definitely tear your mental health. So this is also what we provide apart from this.
Right. Definitely. I think that's a really great platform where people can actually seek advice, because personally, I think in these situations, firstly, people are like, they want to ignore these things. They want to see ki, matlab, kisi tarah, if it can be ignored, so they ignore it, even if it's their money case or, as you said, the woman thing here. But then if they get a platform, and if they're courageous enough to file the complaint, I guess then the things can go better. And also in this case, I would like to find this, that do you also keep up the pace with who has done this breach, and if he or she can be found out, and then maybe legal things can be done behind.
Yes. When I say that law enforcement agencies play a vital role, because we are a private organization, we cannot act as a law enforcement agency. We are not supposed to act like that. We can only act as a helper. We can only act as a person who can help them to find the real culprit, right? But the further things needs to be taken care by the law enforcement agencies, by the police itself. So yes, we do take up a lot of follow-ups with them so that we can actually reach to the culprit. So yes, we do that. And in the many cases, they have actually found the culprit, but in some of the cases, they couldn't trace the culprit because it's an online world. So that's a tough task to find.
Exactly. And it all depends on the situation, that how the breach is done, with whom it is done, and how much, like what's the amount it is, and everything. It has to be controlled. Okay, so while starting with World Cybersecurity Forum, I am sure that you must have faced some issues in the beginning, or maybe you have done some mistakes, how you should take it forward. I think this is a sensitive topic to talk about, because it's all about the legal things. And when you are when you are dealing with people on the legal terms, it becomes more sensitive, and if a small mistake also happens, then people would be behind you. So how you actually dealt with in the past, and had you made any mistakes, any issues that you have faced as an entrepreneur to take it forward and then scale up to the large audience?
So Harshita, I think your team plays a very vital role. In the initial stage, we were not sure about the teamwork. We don't know actually. We had a good coordination because we know each other very well, and other things as well. But there was a lack of communication and lack of coordination from every one of us. So it's not just that this person has this problem because no one is complete, right? No one is perfect. Not all three people can be on the same range. Right. We cannot expect everyone to be pro in everything. I am good at certain point, other person might be good at some other point, and the third person might be good at some other point. So this is how.
And it was the first experience as an entrepreneur.
Yes.
So all three.
So at that time, we were in the college itself. Our college was about to over. Right. So we all were in our college phases. So we hadn't done any kind of a job. By the time we just only had the experiences of doing internships. But as soon as we started our jobs, then amazing changes we have observed in our natures, that we have come up with a more specific plans, implementable plans basically. So pehle kya tha, that you are making plans in just, you are on cloud 9 and you are doing anything and everything. So I think that is the biggest mistake that I have been constantly observing, was seeing in young entrepreneurs, that they don't have the vision. When you don't have the vision, I think that is the biggest problem. You have created a service, you have created a product, but what next? How are you going to take it to the market? How are you going to tell it to the people that if you buy this product or if you buy my services, then some kind of a benefit will be there? Why your product or your service is different from others? So this is the major challenge. Then another major challenge was with the content or with the website itself, that we need to get it invested in the website and the content itself. We created it with we did a lot of hard work for creating the website as well, because everyone will definitely come up with the idea that where's your website? Where can we locate you properly? If we have to take your services, how can we connect back to you? So not every time you can just talk on mails. Sometimes you just have to provide your email address and the website address, and then you will be like, oh, fine, let's go ahead with it. So we were never having a problem of vision. Our vision was very specific, very clear, that we want to create the cyber awareness. But then there were some other challenges. While we were hiring interns, there were some pretty more challenges, like because you have to constantly take the follow-ups. When you have the clients, you actually have to talk to them on the regular basis. You have to understand their problem with a lot of patience, so that we do it by our own self. Because they are mentally aggrieved right now. They are not in that situation where they can handle you, because they have just lost their 2 lakhs or 3 lakhs amount. And even if 50,000 is there, it's their hard earned money. So you have to be very patient. In initial days, we were not that kind of a patient. But ultimately, with the time, we have learned that we have to be very patient. We have to wait for certain things. We have to take cumulative decisions. It couldn't be just my decision. I may have to consult with my other team members. Maybe they have some better ideas, because generally we ignore the team. If there's only one founder, or if there's 2 or 3 founders, then we generally don't take up the feedbacks. We generally don't take up the follow-ups, but that shouldn't be done. That shouldn't be the case. If we are doing this mistake, then I think there's no vision, because when your team works for you, when you have a team and they actually works for you in a proper environment, then actually everyone grows. And when everyone grows, your organization will definitely grow. So I think that's the best pretty case that we have. So these are some of the basic mistakes that we have done, but now we have, frankly speaking, we have learned a lot since last 2 years. So at least now we are not doing any these kinds of a mistake, but definitely we are into learning phase. Every entrepreneur is in learning phase till the end. So don't stop learning. It's just like that. Never stop learning. Learn from your mistakes and don't repeat them. Simple.
Right. Definitely. And like by that time, have you extended your team, or it's like just the 3 members as of now?
So basically, we are the co-members. When I say co-members, then we are the founding members. But yes, we have a team of 20 plus members. We have tech people as well. We have legal people as well. And we have some other people as well. Like we have our editorial board as well. When I say editorial board, then it means we have a journal as well. So we have n number of professors associated with us, working professionals as well who are into the field of law and security. We have panel members as well. So yes, we are constantly in touch with our advisory board. We constantly take their inputs on how we should do, what exactly do you think, how should we grow, or whatever it might be whenever we are confused. But yes, we have our content team as well, where we have 2 people. We have a coordinator as well. So we are growing. Every day we are growing. We have a target of growing ourselves every day. So yes, we have actually grown to a great number.
Like these are like your full-time employees.
Yes, some of them are full-time employees and some of them are on the interns. However, we provide them the things that I don't think so in an internship somebody can provide them. Reason being, we provide them with the great insights and other stuff as well. We don't provide them the stipend in the cash, but we provide them stipend in kind. Like we give them the access to our courses or to our boot camps so that they can learn, because we are here to make them learn so that tomorrow they can definitely, if somebody comes up to them, they can definitely take up an independent query and they can definitely grow and sort it out on their own without taking help of anyone. So we have that target for them.
Definitely, that's really amazing. But that's a new concept that I've got to know, that you like instead of giving the stipend to the interns, you are giving them your access to boot camps and mentorship programs that you run. So talking about something on that lines, what type of programs and boot camps do you run, and like are they open for all, or do you have any specific audience for that? And how does that goes with your whole cybersecurity forum? Like that goes with another aspect of it, or it's a part of that only?
So yeah, we have always been into that nature that while organizing the boot camps, webinars, sessions, events, so they are a mixture of everything. Like we had organized group discussion as well that emphasized on cyber related issues. We had conducted moot court as well on the cyber related problem. We had conducted various international and national symposium that actually gives you an idea of what exactly things are. And the main thing is that our main aim is that we have to provide them with the practical approach, not with the theoretical approach, because theory can be easily learned from books or from Google. But when you are not sure about the practicality of that certain thing, I don't think so there's any kind of a use to your education, because you also know some of the things, I also know some of the things, but what about the practical issues when we come up and implement them practically? So this is our main target, that we have to provide them with the practical information. Like we had organized one session last year that was under our mentorship program. I genuinely personally love that session because that's very close to my heart. That was the understanding the privacy policies. So this is a very important aspect. Many people don't know about that while creating a website for any kind of a business you are having. So you have to create 3 to 4 things. Cookie management, you have to provide terms and conditions, you have to provide terms of services as well, privacy policies. These are some of the important aspects that you have to provide, because it's the part of the legal system. You have to provide it on your website. So in that specific session, we had called our subject matter expert who has been looking this field since last 6 to 7 years, and have created this session in a way that if a person does not want to take any kind of a legal help, then definitely can look up to this session, who has been the part of this mentorship journey since few days back. Then that person can actually get a glimpse of how one needs to design a privacy policy, so that they don't need anyone else to create it for them, because it should be a customized policy. It couldn't be same for you and me. You are having a different set of a business. I might be having a different set of a business. So this is one other aspect that I have actually given you an example. So this is all what we do on a timely manner. We look forward to the collaborations with various colleges, universities, private organizations, as in private companies and all that stuff. So whatever we can do in order to create the cyber awareness, because we believe in one thing, that if a student is properly educated about this issue, then definitely they will go and help people out in our industry. And this is a very booming field. There are a lot of jobs of data privacy counsels around the globe. So right. I think that's what we tend to train them in that way, so that tomorrow they can handle their own things. So that is our aim.
Right. Amazing. That I definitely agree with that, because they should be trained in a way that, like, we all should handle our things at certain point of time, and we are well aware enough that we don't fall for such traps or something, and then right. we are able to solve them ourselves only. Definitely. So talking about that aspect, one last question I would like to discuss with you regarding the cyber awareness that we were talking about. So I know there are like a lot of terms that we can talk about there are numerous ways that the data breach can happen, or your your privacy policy can hinder and everything. But would you like to share with us top 5 things that people can actually do to avoid data breach, or to avoid any malicious things, or any in any form, like either your data is breached, either your monies get breached or something. So top 5 things that we do daily, almost we do daily, but we should be aware of that or something. So how should we go about that? So
Harshita, first thing, to the ladies especially, although this point that I'm going to talk about is for everyone, but I'm putting my emphasis on teenagers and ladies, because they have been victim a lot of these things. Firstly, do not accept unknown people's friend requests or connection requests just to raise your followers. That is the biggest mistake that we do. because I have seen IDs of people while I was researching or while I was doing the consultancy, then they have 10,000 friends. It's not possible in the real life scenario. Maybe you might have a great networking. Maybe you are somebody who just loves making out the friends, but trust me, you never know that who's your friend and who's your foe. So please do not accept.
But the influencer thing comes into play. Nowadays, everyone is a creator or influencer, and then they have public accounts. So in that case, what should be the measure?
So, Harshita, I think when you talk about the influencer, you have to be very, very careful. Again, you can definitely come up and block them, because if you explicitly asking about the influencer, that I do understand that they have that kind of a work where they ultimately have to allow people to come. However, they don't have to play around for each and everything. Like now there's a concept of putting each and everything to the social media. Now I know that this X person is going there with her wife, husband, or family, or whatever it might be. And this X person is staying at this place. So it is actually causing a lot of trouble to ourselves. We are inviting people that come and harm us, because we have invited them that you have joined our network, and now that person can see my posts very easily. Right. When we talk about the influencers, then of course they can only avoid by just by constantly keep a check on who's polluting their wall or who's constantly creating a problem to them. Because I have seen a lot of there used to be a program on MTV. I'm so sorry, I completely forgot the name. That was presented by Ranveer Sangha. So that's one of my favorite shows. So in that program, what had happened is they pick up a celebrity every week and they come up with the idea that they used to just share their profiles and read the most pathetic comment over there. And they used to meet that person. I don't know. I'm not sure whether that was a real thing or it was just a planned thing just in order to gain the TRP. I'm not sure, but that was the concept of that program. But I enjoy watching that program because there are people who can actually do anything. They can write anything to you. There's no sense of that. So influencers has to be more careful about that, and do not put everything, whatever you do. If you're creating reels, if you're creating some kind of a photo shoot that you want to share, then definitely please do go ahead with that. But do not share each and everything, because it's not important to share each and everything with you. If you're brushing your teeth, come on, it's not important. We all do that.
Right.
So I think that is...
So you should be more aware of what you're putting out. Exactly. That's the thing.
Exactly.
We put an Instagram story wherever we go to any cafe, any restaurant, any mall, anything. So then that person may know. And I don't think that is tricky to track where the exact person is.
Not at all. Not at all. It's not at all tricky. If somebody has a good knowledge about all these stuff, then you can easily be traced. That, this person has went to this cafe or this person has went to that place. Okay.
And even आपने वहाँ क्या ट्रांजैक्शन की है, किस आईडी से की है, क्या दिया है, तो वहाँ पर आपका डेटा मतलब उस टाइम के लिए it would be saved.
हाँ, absolutely it would be saved. So वही मैं इस चीज पर हमेशा emphasize करती हूँ personally भी that I don't accept unknown people's requests, those whom I don't know. और अगर ऐसा है भी ना that if you want to create it कि आपको करना ही है, तो please create a separate ID. And do not associate it with your registered email ID. Registered email ID से मेरा मतलब यहाँ पर उस email ID से है जो आपने अपने बैंक अकाउंट्स में दी हुई है. अगर आप
create a separate one, that is why people create a separate one for both, and they have a separate for
right. आप अपनी एक personal ID रखो जिसमें आप अपने personal pictures डाल रहे हो. हालांकि that's also not a safe practice, but ठीक है. On the higher end, because we are living in the social media era, तो उस केस में this is the only idea that I can give कि आप separate email IDs create करो. And you don't have to put each and everything on the social media. You don't have to. If you're visiting some cafe, you don't have to tell it to the people that I had visited there. It's very good thing that you have visited, but I don't think so that because इससे cyber crimes बढ़ रहे हैं. प्रॉब्लम ये नहीं है कि आप डाल रहे हो, वो आपकी अपनी पर्सनल चॉइस. आपको पसंद हो सकता है, बेशक हो सकता है, आपको पिक्चर्स क्लिक करवाना पसंद हो सकता है, क्लिक करना पसंद हो सकता है खाने की पिक्चर्स, बट दैट्स कंप्लीटली फाइन. वो आपकी पर्सनल चॉइस हो सकती है. बट एम्फसाइज इसी पर रखिए कि अगर आपको डालना ही है तो फिर आप पर्सनल आईडी से मत करिए ये सब चीजें. सो दैट्स व्हाई आई ऑलवेज यूज्ड टू स्पेसिफिकली टेल टू द वुमेन. अब आप देखिए टीनेजर्स के केसेस में क्या होता है. कैटफिशिंग एक हुआ केस. Yeah, catfishing is something where you are pretending to be somebody else, but you are somebody else. Let's assume I am pretending that I'm a woman to you over message, but I'm actually not a woman, I am a male. Mm-hmm. That is known as catfishing somehow. Right. So there are n number of cases.
And I think that's common nowadays.
Yeah. Now in Australia, a teenager did suicide. That is Amanda Todd. If the audience is well aware about the catfishing, then that case was a very, very crucial case when we talk about the catfishing. Amanda Todd's case. She was somewhere around 14 or 15 only.
Right.
She was constantly blackmailed by a person on the name of catfishing, and then she committed suicide. Now, can you think the mindset of a kid of 14 or 15 years, a teenager? He's not into his age of understanding or grasping the things. Right. And if this would have happened in India, I would have given it a thought that maybe that person was afraid to talk. But when I talk about the Western countries or other countries, then they are far different from what our country has the notion. Yeah. So these are a lot of things that are happening around the globe. So first point is I had already discussed. Second, another point that these days there's a lot of people who are constantly messaging you on social media. Don't reply them. Do not reply them at all. Just block them. If you don't like their message, just block them. Because ultimately there's no use to reply them because you cannot win the race. You can't. So don't even try it out.
Right.
Third thing, always keep a 2 verification step on. That is 2FA, two-factor authentication that we call.
Right.
If you are logging in to your email account, let's assume from some other laptop or from some other device, then 2 things should be there. Firstly, the password should be there. Google has provided n number of authentication methods.
Right.
Like they always used to provide you with that notification as well, that this account or this computer is trying to access you at this. Is it you or is it not you? So if you click to yes, then definitely you'll gain the access. Another thing is OTP or the PIN number that they are giving you on your registered mobile number. So please activate the 2FA if you haven't done that. Don't constantly change your passwords. Keep it complex. Like when I say complex, then you can keep something long, a long sentence or a long phrase that you can easily recall. Do not keep your contact numbers, your names, your birthdays as the password because it's the most easy and guessable password. According to a survey report, I have actually read that 70% of the time people do commit this mistake that they used to keep their passwords like this only so that it's easily hackable. Now,
because it's one of the things that is easily rememberable to you. So in that case, people do it. Numbers, I don't think, apart from your phone number, you have anything other in mind in terms of numbers. So I think bank password or something, you have to keep in numbers and most of them put it as this only. Your phone numbers. Yeah.
Harshita, very frankly speaking, when we want to save ourselves and when we want to save our near and dear ones, then definitely we have to come up with the idea that we can create a sentence. Frankly speaking, I don't use simple passwords. I always use complex password for each and everything. I don't repeat my passwords. If I have 5 email IDs on me, then every password is changed. No password is repeated. Firstly. Secondly, I haven't registered my registered mobile number. Registered mobile number, when I say, then it means that registered mobile number that is associated with my banking apps, with my mail account. I haven't done that intentionally. Because let's assume if somebody gets the access to my email account, then that person can easily get access to my bank account as well with some idhar-udhar research and can get to know all my basic details.
And this can be done. I think yes. We assume that this cannot be done, and because they preach it about in the way, next step is putting your phone number, and next step is actually linking to something or some other. Then we make it happen. It's mandatory to do that. But I don't think that is where the awareness comes into play. That is where you have to be very sure of what you are putting and where.
Yes. Third thing you can avoid is that we had discussed that do not click to malicious links. You don't know that whether this link is workable or not. You shouldn't be using any suspicious link or any kind of a mail that you don't download any kind of a attachment to the mail if you are not sure who's the sender.
Who is this, right?
Just report that mail as the phishing mail. Otherwise, you will definitely fall a prey. So you have to be very careful, keep your eyes open, because this is a world of internet and you never know who has sent you that mail and what is the intention. We always constantly say, do not share your OTPs or PINs. That's again an important segment that we cannot ignore till date. That don't share anything. Don't share your debit card numbers, your email addresses unnecessarily. On LinkedIn, I have constantly seen that there are people who ask people to write that if you're interested in this job, please leave up your email ID. Come on. Let's be frank. If somebody is genuinely hiring, that person can create a job post, right, on LinkedIn itself.
Or they can ask us to DM.
Or they can ask you for the DM. But why they want you to write your email addresses? I'm not saying that every time they have a malicious intent, but some other people who might come across with 200 mails ID, you don't have the idea what kind of a malicious intent a person could have.
Right. So yeah, these are, I think these are most of the common things that we do. And especially after the pandemic, when everything is online and using social media apps, using UPIs are very frequent and used. Like we are using them very frequently. And that's the only option, I guess. That's the only option feasible to all of us that saves time, that saves energy and everything. But we should also make sure that it saves our money also at the last. So yes, thank you so much, Pakhi, for sharing those things with us. And we actually covered two segments in this discussion. First was you as an entrepreneur and how you started this, and secondly the cyber awareness part. And what I think that is, this is just 1% of what we have already discussed and what we can discuss, because I think that's huge in the field when we actually come to learning of it. So if this video is actually, helped you in some way or the other, I personally request you to read more about this. Maybe you can go to the blogs and websites of World Cyber Security Forum only. And I think you have some blogs to educate the audience on these practices. And I think if people want to read, they can actually read and do those practices in daily life. So yes, that's on the ending note. Thank you so much, Pakhi. I hope you enjoyed this conversation. And obviously I did it as always.
Thank you very much for this amazing opportunity, Harshita. It was a pleasure having you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone. And we will be meeting in the next video very soon. Thank you, Pakhi, and have a very good. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.